Frieren Beyond Journey's End has to be one of the most slept on animes of 2023 and probably 2024. So much so that I feel obligated to make this video. And I get it, it was stacked against animes like Attack on Titan and Jujutsu Kaisen, which literally made my year when it came to entertainment. And with that being said, the show still got a good amount of notoriety, but in my opinion, I think it deserves way more. Because this anime just excels at making you feel for these characters, the history of the world, and the slow passage of time that inevitably takes things away from us. But specifically in this case, Frieren, as she's a 1,000-year-old mage who can practically outlive anyone she meets. Besides other elves and maybe some demons that she doesn't choose to fucking slaughter, which is never. But the whole story revolves around her trying to understand what she had in her life and what she has lost. As the show takes place decades after their journey to kill the Demon King that she keeps reminiscing on, hence the title of the anime. Duh. And since elves in this universe struggle to have much of an emotional connection due to their long lifespan, she doesn't really start to grasp the relationship she had until her friends start to die, beginning her journey of emotional maturity, as the anime really just focuses on her life and her quest to understand what her past means to her. And due to this, a good chunk of the show kinda has a little bit of a slice of life feel to it, as some episodes are just as simple as cleaning statues and putting flowers around it. And if you know anything about me, then you'll know that I'm not a particular fan of the slice of life genre, mainly because I kinda think it's goddamn boring. Like if I want a slice of life, I'll just go outside and touch grass or something. But what this show does so well is that they take a simple concept, like for example Frieren searching for a ring that Himmel gave her, and add so much meaningful character development to it. Like I love how at first she thought that Himmel was a complete dumbass who had absolutely no idea what the design meant, kinda like Stark, but by the end of the episode with the context of the flashback, she finally comes to the conclusion that he knew exactly what it meant, making her not only cherish the ring more, but also that memory. Which this circles back to what I said originally about emotional maturity, and being able to process and understand other people's feelings, and most of all express yourself accordingly. Because if you know anything about the show, then you'll know that Frieren is kind of a baby, like a woman child. And at first I thought this was more of her personality, and to a certain extent it could be, but after meeting Kraft the monk, he informs us that Frieren is actually quite young. We don't know how young, but let's say she's around a quarter of her lifespan. That would be the equivalent of around 20 years of age. So it makes sense why she's somewhat emotionally immature, not only because she sees time differently from other races with shorter lifespans, but because she's also still growing up. So weirdly enough, if you think about it, the entire cast of characters on this journey are still children growing up. The only slight difference is that one of them has 1,000 years on the other two, making her a little bit more knowledgeable of the world around her. But when it comes to knowing herself, she's still learning like everyone else. And that's the cool thing about the show, because while it does focus mainly on the protagonist, it also shows a lot of love to the side characters. One of my favorite moments being when Stark came to the realization that his brother truly loved and cherished him, not seeing him as the burden like a lot of his other family members did. And all of this culminated in a perfectly executed scene.
どう？美味しい？
And it's the small things in this moment that really stand out. The soft music in the background, the close-up shot on his face, the animation of him slowly chewing. I mean, I know that I'm overanalyzing to a certain extent, but it really does matter. And the thing that I haven't mentioned yet that makes a lot of these scenes is the attention to detail when it comes to the animation. Madhouse deserves a lot of praise for this anime, as this is one of their best works in recent memory. The animation just really sets the tone for a lot of these scenes. I mean, just look at this scene. One of, if not the last experiences Frieren had with Himmel was seeing the Era meteor shower, the same one that they saw at the end of their journey 50 years prior. And the animation for this could not be more perfect. Hell, they even sometimes go above and beyond for some things that they don't even need to throw in. Like when Ara was commanded to lop her own head off, instead of just having the hair bend around the sword, it actually shows it being cut. Or when Stark grabs his jacket to leave the church. I mean, just look at this animation. They didn't even have to go this hard for something so minute. And even though, like I said, the animation is mainly for setting the tone for most of these scenes, it's also a heavy contributor to the choreography. It's obviously no Jujutsu Kaisen, but the fights are still very entertaining. And plus, I think it's kinda unfair to put this up against Jujutsu Kaisen, because Frieren Beyond Journey's End would blow out a lot of animes when it comes to fight scenes. Don't at me on that. All in all, the point of this video is that if you're not watching this, then what the hell are you doing? This is top tier for the fantasy anime genre, and it does not get much better than this. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed, consider liking, subscribing, and comment below what I should do next. I'll do animes, shows, movies, games, whatever. But again, thank you so much for watching.